Well, it is at that time of the year again, IPL time. We are back, and it's of course time to talk about a new season of the IPL. Hello and welcome to Cricket News Live IPL 2022 Curtain Raiser. I'm Rahul Pandey, and joining me are the dynamic, ever so dynamic individuals on this show of ours, Abhishek Mukherjee and Sandipan Banerjee, who's joining us all the way from Mumbai. Hello, gents. It is time for this new IPL season, much anticipated IPL season. A lot of things have changed. We've had a big, massive auction that we talked about not too long ago. And now, before we go into the tournament, there have been a few changes, a few big ones. Might as well look forward to this season. And yeah, what are your initial thoughts about the league that's about to begin from tomorrow?
The same as every
No,
time.
it's not the league is not necessarily the same. Individuals have shifted here and there, quite a few
Yeah,
of them.
that happens every 3 years.
But yeah, the feel of it is going to be different.
Yeah.
Is what I think. Of course, the format changing. Let's
Format
talk about
changes, but
that.
every team still
Yeah,
plays 14 league matches. So it will be long, but
yeah,
supporters of each team will get to see their team play the same number of matches. So I guess
yeah.
if you are really the fan of one team, from your point of view, things won't change a lot. If you
Yeah,
are,
it's just people like us who are investing all the time in all of the league matches who will get to watch more of cricket. Perhaps that's a good thing. I hope so.
yeah,
Sandipanda, your thoughts on this IPL season?
Rahul, am I audible properly?
yes,
Yeah, you
yes, you
are.
are audible.
I do believe there are some internet issues at your end, but you're
But you
audible
are
to us.
audible. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because I'm having some issues here in Rahul. So yeah, my thoughts about IPL. Yeah, finally, good to see that crowd is coming back on ground and on Indian grounds. I think they are initially in Mumbai 25% crowd will be allowed. Later, they are expecting that it will be increased to 50%. So that is the most positive aspect about this IPL. Also, two new team coming in, more matches, more excitement. So yeah, I mean, is going to be for us it's going to be very busy 2 months, but for
yeah.
cricket fans it is going to be a cricket extravagance for the next 2 months or so.
Yeah. Quick bit of update for all our cricket news viewers right now that Sandipan Banerjee will be there for this initial first week in Mumbai, covering and bringing us some interesting bits from the league, of course. So do stay tuned for that. But yes, this format is what we were talking about, and I was actually thinking about it. It's based on teams' performances in the leagues. That's how they've put them in those two groups and up against each other. So every team is going to face the other teams in their group twice, and the team that is adjacent to them in the other group twice, and the rest of the teams one time. So what it necessarily does is, so Mumbai Indians have won 5 titles, and they are adjacent to Chennai Super Kings in the other group. But this is, of course, based on teams' performances across those 14 seasons. And teams change so quickly, so rapidly, as far as their balance is concerned, their performances are concerned. So it's not necessarily like two teams who are maybe not so good in terms of their achievements over the seasons, not going to give the same sort of competition to those big ones. That's the case with IPL, which we see every time now and then.
See,
That
that is a problem because these are not international teams. So someone who has
yeah,
so maybe five team, five people who have played for Mumbai and were part of and are part of the reason they have that ranking. I had that ranking before the tournament may actually be playing for the other side. In
yeah,
international sport, that does not happen, but in club
yeah,
sports, that can happen. Which is why,
yeah,
I mean, Mumbai is not the same. Mumbai today is not the same as Mumbai of say 2015. But the
Yep.
ranking is dependent on that as well. Yeah, but it is what
True.
it is. They couldn't have, if every side had to play every side, it would have meant 94 matches. That is
Oh
probably
yeah.
not doable.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it is what it is. 74. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not that much,
It is a
that
lot.
big a change. It's not
It's a
that
lot.
big a change, is what I'm saying. It could have been even bigger. That's what we were just talking about. But coming back to what we know right now is, of course, this: the league is beginning tomorrow. We have the schedule on our hands. So what we decided is we are going to talk about each of the teams given that schedule and given, who starts first in the tournament, starts playing first in the tournament. So the first match of IPL 2022 is essentially the CSK facing KKR, the two finalists of last season. That was the last match of IPL 2021. But a lot has changed in just 6 months as far as the complexion of these two teams are concerned. Not so much for
Not CSK.
CSK, but yeah, yeah, not so much for CSK, except that C in bracket. Yep, that's what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
If you do want to watch us talking more on that,
See,
that's what we did
see,
yesterday.
there will be people writing match previews. There will be designers like Utkarsh who will be making these lists on graphics. And just
Yep.
between these two groups of people, just check the number of times they accidentally write that C next to MS Dhoni and then edit it.
Oh, he just did that. He was just
He
talking
did that.
about it
He did
at
that.
six.
I told
Yeah,
you. I
he
told
was
you.
talking about it at 6. He was talking about it at 6 p.m. today, just before the live. So yeah, there you go. That's tough to digest.
So many people are about to do that.
Yeah, but it's instinct, right? It's MS
Yeah.
Dhoni, it's CSK, it's IPL. It's instinctive. That C, of
Yeah,
course, goes with that.
when back in school, in a new year, we always used to write the date wrong for in say, early January. It's like that,
Yeah, yeah.
and that is a
God,
habit
you're
we
giving.
had acquired over 1 year. So 2021, you write 2021, and we keep forgetting. And this is a habit we have acquired over 14 years.
Wow, Abhishek Mukherjee giving some serious nostalgic vibes at Cricket News Live right now. But yes, I mean, let's talk about these two, right? We of course spoke at length about MS Dhoni and CSK yesterday. Let's look at this fixture, and when we talk about the runners-ups of last season, KKR, they've undergone quite a few changes.
Yeah, KKR, I think the biggest blow will be they won't get their. I mean, they won't be getting Pat Cummins for five
Yeah,
matches, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
and they didn't get. They were not. They are not getting Alex Hales, and they replaced Alex Hales with Aaron Finch, who is probably playing for his ninth team or something, or
yeah.
eighth. I'm not
Ninth,
sure.
ninth,
So
yeah, ninth, I guess.
yeah. So and Hales won't be there, and Finch will not be there for the same 5 matches. So that will be a balance they'll have to find. So I think,
True.
but to balance this, Chennai will also not get Moeen Ali and Deepak Chahar. So essentially,
Yeah,
two sides badly hit for different reasons. Let us see
true.
what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, but one of the first things that obviously came to our minds was the players that KKR, wanted to retain, wanted to keep by their hand. And one of the important reasons for them making that appearance in the final last year was Venkatesh Iyer. He has, of course, made his appearances in the international circuit after that IPL season, and has undergone quite a few games of practice in that middle order as well. But KKR will go with him no matter what he has done in the international circuit. KKR will go with him right up front, won't they?
They should, because that is see, in Madhya Pradesh, while playing for Madhya Pradesh, Venkatesh Iyer got his position of choice. For
Yeah,
India have a more or less settled top order. India need people in the middle. KKR
yeah,
have people in the middle. They need him at the top. So
they
Venkatesh Iyer will
definitely do.
bat at the
Yeah,
top. So he
Yeah.
will have to adjust to the team's requirements. And it
Yeah.
is a very good thing that he can do that. He
Yeah.
can bat in both positions. He's a fine fielder and he will give you
Yeah.
four good overs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, he is going to be uh, one of the key players. Especially, see, KKR is a team of very good all rounders. They have Narayan, they have Russell, and they have Venkatesh Iyer, and they have Pat Cummins, who won't be there now. Cummins not being there slightly takes the balance away. Not only because Cummins is one of the best fast bowlers in the world right now, if not the best. uh,
Hmm.
Cummins is one of the best, but also Cummins batting at say 8
Yeah.
gives them a boost. That balance will be gone for
True.
5 matches. That is where Venkatesh Iyer will come in very handy, because
Yeah.
now they will have to take a call whether they push Narayan to the top. These pitches won't do anything. Trust me, Wankhede pitches. They're not going to
We
do
did.
anything.
We did see a CSK KKR match there last season.
Hmm.
When we're talking
Yes.
about the middle order, we're talking about Pat Cummins batting. We saw that there.
Hmm.
And of course, we're talking about KKR. It's only fitting that Sandipan Banerjee's internet has magnificently reappeared in all forms and he is back here to talk about them. So, Sandipan Da, we'll just leave the mic with you. Talk about this team, will you?
Well, it's a new look team, of course. Looking for me, it's looking slightly, bit underpowered compared to what it used to be in the previous seasons. But again, and they will be a little more dependent on their core group. So I think that is one concern. For example, if Russell, gets injured during in the middle of the tournament, his
Yeah.
possible replacement will be either Mohammad Nabi or I think the Sri Lankan all-rounder. Um, so basically, they don't have. So what happened? They were so focused on some particular players that in the auction they spent a lot of money on them, but they did not get enough backup players, and that is at this point that is their biggest concern.
I think
Yeah.
KKR's
And
success
talk
will depend a lot on how well they have scouted. Because if you look at some of the picks, they have not even been for long playing for long in domestic cricket. KKR have picked some cricketers out of nowhere. Now,
Yeah.
remember, last year they sprung a surprise with Venkatesh Iyer. In
Yeah.
2019, they surprised us with Varun Chakravarti. So
Yeah.
KKR keep surprising us. Whether there is a surprise pick that will go, who will go on to make it big into 2022, only time will tell. But KKR has many new names whom we did
True.
not expect franchises will pay so much for. KKR,
True.
if their scouting system is as good as what it has been for some time, then this team will spring a few surprises. And
Yeah.
KKR's next big star may be one of these unknown cricketers, just like it was Venkatesh Iyer in 2022,
Yeah.
2021, and Varun Chakravarti in 2020.
Oh, yeah. It would
It
be
can happen.
wonderful. It would be.
Possible.
Yeah, and it would be wonderful to watch that happen. But one of the issues that's been spoken at length now is, of course, regarding the middle order and how much of firepower that has. Of course, the questions that were there, if any, with one Shreyas Iyer might have just gone down the bin, given the batting that we saw of him in that T20 series against Sri Lanka. That was a once in a lifetime T20 series performance, by the way. The
No
strike
reason
rate with
why.
which he batted.
I
Yeah,
would really love to see him bat like that. Not the
yeah,
126 strike rate wala Shreyas Iyer, but the
yeah.
Shreyas Iyer that batted against Sri Lanka.
That was possibly the best description that I saw of that performance was he was the Virat Kohli minus the Virat Kohli in that series
Uh,
at number three.
I have rarely seen Virat Kohli bat this well in T20 cricket. Honestly,
Oh,
honestly,
yeah, yeah. But in terms of his approach during the chases, we saw some of the masterclass shots that it wasn't like he
brutal.
was just going all out whacking. He was playing some proper cricketing shots with application that were crossing the boundary line. So it was beautiful at the same time. What you
He,
said, brutal.
listen, he is a very. Uh, the thing about Shreyas Iyer is he is a very good first class cricketer. You have to understand this, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
for that to
Yeah.
happen, a basic technique is a given.
yep.
No,
So,
just
I,
I want to, yeah, yeah.
five
Talking
six
about
years ago,
Shreyas,
when
I think,
Shreyas Iyer had that phenomenal Ranji Trophy season, that season, if you have seen the matches, you could have seen the amazing stroke play,
Yeah,
and he was doing that in red ball cricket. It was
yeah,
yeah,
only a
yeah.
matter of time before he did this.
yep. Did it in the pink ball test as well, by the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy pitch to bat on. Did that with quite ease. Yeah. Sandipanda, you were saying
And
something?
yeah, I'm saying that Shreyas will enjoy batting at pitches like Wankhede, CCI, because these are the pitches where he has played all his cricket since childhood.
True,
So
true,
DY
true.
Patil, all these grounds, I think Shreyas will enjoy this. And one thing about KKR is that who will open alongside, alongside this Venkatesh Iyer.
Venkatesh,
So
yeah.
my best bet is at this point is Nitish Rana, because
Narayan.
Okay.
if Shreyas is there at number three, you have Sam Bell. You need to play Sam Bellings, and then you have the power hitters or the all rounders. So I cannot see any other option apart from Nitish Rana until unless you make
Mm,
Sam Bellings open the innings. But in that
Narayan.
case,
mm.
no Sam Bellings. Narayan,
Narayan, small ground,
but Narayan will be
flat
walked
pitch.
out. Narayan's batting will be walked out.
It
They
will
will
work out
bowl.
in last three balls. That's it.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
risk
If you
worth
want to,
taking. It's a risk worth taking. And if
It'll be
if
exciting. Let me say this.
given
To
who Brendan McCullum is, I can expect Narayan coming out.
but in that case, where will Nitish Rana bat?
Three.
three Shreyas Iyer? No,
Three Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas will
I
bat
think
at
with the
three.
performance that
Then
we
Rana
saw
opens.
of him.
Then Rana opens. Narayan goes out to slog.
Yeah, because you cannot play Rana at number four or
No.
anywhere down. So you have to, if you want to play
Yeah,
Rana, you have to play at either at open or at number three. Yeah, and if
The
number
other
three is
option
occupied
is
by the Shreyas, then Rana needs to open.
Rana and Narayan to open.
And another aspect, I think, where KKR will struggle, especially in Mumbai, especially CCI and Wankhede, is their pace bowling. They don't have enough pace bowling. Pat Cummins will be missing few games.
Cummins is
They
a
are,
big blow.
yeah. So basically now they have to depend on Shivam Mabi and Umesh Yadav, and Andre Russell will bowl 2 overs at the depth. So I think, especially on these grounds, you need quality fast bowlers,
Yes.
to pick
true.
up wickets with the new ball. You cannot defend here. You cannot say that, okay, fine, we'll just bowl 6 over for 20 runs and then that's fine. Because
What is the update
especially at
on
Wankhede, Hangarekar is with Chennai, right?
So what is the update
Yeah.
on him?
He's with the
With
team.
us,
He's with the squad. But will
will
he
he
play?
be playing? Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, I think they will play. I think they will play
I'm
because
really excited to watch
Hangarekar
him.
can. Yeah, he is a very wonderful, yeah, and he will enjoy bowling on these pitches.
Mhm.
But I'm very concerned about KKR's fast bowling until unless Pat Cummins arrives. I'm very concerned about them.
Yeah, well,
See,
let's nicely pivot to CSK now, given that we have, of course, talked about Rajvardhan Hangarkar there.
India's
Exciting
answer to
prospect.
Andre Russell.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
true,
that's
Have you seen
absolutely.
him bat? He's a
yeah. The
if
under
he's
19
this
World
strong
Cup.
at if he's this strong at 19, I don't know what he's
Yep,
going to become. He's a brute.
it's a beast. Yeah, it's a beast.
First of
Yeah,
all,
he's
has
But
Ravindra
yes,
Jadeja? Just wanted to ask you guys: has Ravindra Jadeja captained any Ranji Trophy side or any first class
no.
team?
He has led India in under 19 World Cup, under 19 cricket, not World Cup, under 19
Hmm.
cricket, and
Yeah.
he has led Saurashtra under-19s, but he has never led in senior cricket.
I
So
think
I mean,
he
Rahul.
had the second highest number of games in T20s before he became
Yes.
the captain. Yeah, so that's
Probably not the
mistaken.
second highest, or I think it is the second longest gap in number of days, I think, or maybe the second highest number of matches.
Absolutely.
I think the
One
number
of
of
the two.
matches. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
Either matches or
yeah,
number of days since debut. He holds
yeah.
one of the two records. I saw that Samit Patel holds the record for most longest career without leading ever in T20
Yeah.
cricket.
Yep, yep,
I'm
yep.
expecting some, some MSD kind of captaincy from Ravindra Jadeja. He will certainly, you will see certainly the influence of MSD in his leadership, maybe.
Yeah, MS
Let's
is
see.
still there. I think very much
Obviously, he will take the
MS
calls.
and Fleming
Yes.
have
Yeah.
been the two individuals who've been there at CSK right from the very beginning, and those two are primarily the management group
He
that
has played under
decides on
one.
most of the aspects.
He
Yeah,
has played under Vaughan. He has played under
yeah,
Dhoni. He has played under
yeah.
Kohli. He has played under
Kohli.
Rohit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now let's see what he has to offer us.
let's see what
Probably a
he
lot
has
of
to offer.
fireworks. Yep. It'll be exciting, let me say this. Ravindra Jadeja, the captain. I mean, we were just talking about that yesterday, Sandipanda, with all that he already does on the cricket field. This is probably just another addition. He's quite the multitasker. It would be nice to see him captain a team now. But CSK without
A
Moeen Ali
successful, a
going into
No,
this
successful
game.
the
stint,
thing is,
a successful
Yeah.
stint at CSK will, make him in the scheme of things for the senior level as well, because his place at the senior level is certain.
so
Yep.
the thing is, yeah, one advantage Jadeja will have is these players, Chahar and Moeen, who won't be there in the first match, but they will
Yeah.
be back. Chahar and Moeen at some point.
Yeah.
And then there are Uthappa and the others. I mean, I keep forgetting what happened to me.
Raidu, Bravo.
So, Raidu, Bravo. These
He's
people,
surrounded by
Jadeja,
captains. He's
yeah,
surrounded by captains,
Yeah.
former captains.
surrounded by captains, and he has been playing with these people for
Playing with
some
these
time,
players. Yeah.
so he
Yeah,
knows
yeah,
Yep.
he won't have to adjust to these cricketers.
yeah,
True.
So that is one advantage he'll have.
yeah. And also Moeen Ali also, he has captained a lot in English domain. He was captain of the 100 team. He
Worcestershire.
captained at the English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Quite a
CSK
few
has
leaders there. Yeah.
quite a few
Yeah.
leaders there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of cricket brain there in that dressing room. So, yeah, it'll be fascinating to see how they operate going into this. Of course, CSK play KKR in the first fixture, which is going to be tomorrow. Let's talk about the other teams as well. Let's jump on to the other teams given the fixture list that we have. The next match is, of course, going
We
to
can
be
start with
Delhi.
Rajasthan since Abhishek Da is here. We can start with Rajasthan.
Let's go match by match. I want Rajasthan to be there at the end because they play Hyderabad, which is going to be the last match for the two teams. I mean, the first match for the two teams, and that'll be this last sort of match day one action. But yes, let's talk about Delhi and Mumbai, two teams who have met quite a few times in the last couple of seasons. Of course, that 2020 season will be fresh in minds of the Delhi fans when the game's so close. But they've changed the game in the last auction cycle. They've changed their game. They've changed the way they look at things. And the biggest hint that we got how they were progressing in terms of this format and its demands was when they didn't go for Shreyas Iyer in their retain list, went for Rishabh Pant, and clearly gave more importance to their player power rather than the captain power that we see in quite a few franchisees. So that was good to see, wasn't it? But even then, they had quite a solid auction, didn't they?
Absolutely.
One of the strongest teams.
True.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
if
I
you
completely
just
agree.
look, if you just look at the names that they got in that auction, it's star-studded. Yep. Let's take a look. Yep, Rishabh Pant, there you go, captain wicketkeeper alongside Prithvi Shaw, David Warner. They have Yash Dhul, yet another under 19 India captain goes to Delhi.
He may
That's
not
quite the
start.
tradition.
Yeah.
That's given the star power in that team already.
Mhm.
Robman Powell, Tim Seifert is there. Shardul Thakur, quite
Don't
a
ignore
change of
Mandeep Singh.
colors. Yeah, yeah. Yep, definitely has been there for quite some time. Knows how the league
And
operates. Has played for quite a few
Robman Powell
franchises.
has been
Knows the system.
hitting against England in their
Yes,
domestic
yes,
in their T20 series. Robman Powell
True.
was one of the
yes,
best players in that tournament.
Yeah.
I think he scored 100, right, in one of the T20s in
yes, yes.
Barbados.
Yep. We have Mitchell Marsh in the same team as David Warner. I mean, the batting lineup right there is solid as it gets. But even with the bowlers, I mean, we just talked about Shardul Thakur. We have Chetan Sakaria, exciting young talent, and you always need a left arm quick. Let me get that combination in terms of the
Left
talking
arm,
point that Rajasthan.
right arm
Yeah,
pace, Henrik
yeah,
Nortje. Left arm seam,
yeah.
Sakaria. Right arm
Yep.
seam, who can also bat, Shardul Thakur. Left arm spin, who can bat, who turns away from the right hander, who can also bat, Akshar Patel. Left arm
Yep.
unorthodox spinner, Kuldeep Yadav. That is your team. Backup, Mitchell Marsh.
Yo,
This is
six
a
and
super
and
fantastic
names.
team.
and this team is
This is one
ideally
of the
suited.
strongest teams.
Yeah. This and for across conditions. I mean, this team is ideally suited. For example, if whenever they will be play at CCI and Wankhede, they have the pace
Yeah.
bowling arsenal. Whenever they will play at DY Patil and Pune, where pitches will be a bit on the slower side and will be spinning a little bit. Spinners will get some assistance from those pitches and bigger grounds.
Yeah.
They have the spin attack also. So I think
Look at
overall
if
Delhi is looking one of the most
if
strongest team to beat, I guess.
if Nautier picks up an injury, you have Ngiri. If one of the batters picks up an injury, Sarfaraz will play, I suppose. If Sarfaraz, then they have Dhul as backup. If you miss an Indian right arm seamer, you get Nagar Koti. So who can also bat?
Will I mean
If
I
if
just seeing
Sakaria gets injured, you have Khali. You name one, you have a backup for them.
Yeah. There's
This is
KS Bharat there as
beautifully
well.
made team. Beautifully made team.
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. Quite a few options to go with in terms of the batting.
Will
options,
I mean,
in terms of
looking
the
at this
bowling,
team,
all-rounders.
looking at this team, will Mustafizur Rahman start in the first playing 11?
No, very very unlikely.
No way.
I can
Yeah,
see the
exactly.
bowling attack. I can see a bowling attack of Nautier, Shardul, Sakaria, Aksar, and Kuldeep, which will allow them to play three overseas batters,
Overseas
and
batters.
Yeah,
that will
Yeah.
be Warner, Mitchell Marsh, and Robin.
Paul.
Robin Pell,
So
yeah.
now,
And remember, Mustafizur was one of the best, probably the best Rajasthan bowler in the previous seasons. I mean, for the last two.
that is not a
True.
big thing, but
Yeah, but
still.
still.
This coming from a Rajasthan Royals fan, we can take his word for it. Yeah. But that opening combination, I mean, we've seen what Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan used to do, right? Prithvi Shaw and David Warner. Ooh, that seems tasty, right?
It'll we'll have to see what approach Warner adopts.
Yeah.
He was usually he was usually not as fast as for Australia, but he was batted faster for Sunrisers.
Sarich. Yeah.
So
And
will
Prithvi,
Warner?
with terms of his
Yeah,
batting, always used to take command of the attack in the power play, and Shikhar used to take the back seat. But
Yeah.
with Warner and Prithvi opening, it'll be interesting to see who does that more often.
I mean, why do just players, these batters, think about playing conservatively on T20s? Just go out there
especially
and
the power
express
play.
yourself. Yeah, I mean, Warner doesn't need to play conservative. He just can play his natural game.
For the sake of individual safety and the safety of other teams, if our graphics producer can just bring that graphic back. So what Sandipan basically is saying, that Delhi batters need to go all out Okay.
Absolutely.
Prithvi Shaw goes all out.
Absolutely.
David Warner goes all out. Rishabh Pant goes all out. Mitchell Marsh goes all out. There'll
Yeah,
be chaos and carnage that won't be
yeah, that
contained
is the whole
inside the
point.
stadium.
That
That
is
is
the
the
whole
point.
point.
That
Yeah,
is T20 cricket. That is the modern day T20 cricket for
it
you.
is. It is. It'll be the
You
entertainment
just
of a
have
Yeah, yeah,
lifetime.
120
yeah.
balls.
Absolutely.
You
You
just
can
have
have
See,
Shardul
120
Thakur.
balls.
see,
You
they have
can
six.
have.
There's six batters plus two bowlers who can bat. That is eight. All you need
Yeah.
to last is 15 balls per batter. 15 eights are
Yeah.
120. Why? If you last longer than that, you're probably not taking enough risks. Which means you're probably not playing as aggressively as you should.
I mean, if they play at CC, they are playing their first game at CCI here. It's just behind me, and I mean, if they can hit a six, it will land on my balcony. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. CCA is
so I mean,
tiny.
it's a tiny ground. They
Yeah,
cannot think
Yeah.
that even 250 is not a safe score over here in CCI.
I agree. I agree.
So we might as well expect a Rishabh Pant one-handed six to clear the ground and not just the boundary road this time around, given those dimensions you're talking about.
Rishabh Pant has hit 100 sixes on much bigger grounds.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm
So
asking about clearing the
CCI is
ground
a
and not
small
just the
ground,
boundary line.
small. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
might. I remember this was in 2020, right? At the IPL, where random sixes landed on the roads, and the
yep.
ball would
yeah.
never
It
reach
Sharjah,
is.
because the
It
road
is.
was
It
Sharjah.
is.
because the road was
I
outside
think
the
is
bio bubble.
CC, I think CCI is probably as dimension compared to. I think it will be comparable to Sarja. I think it is.
It's a small
I
ground.
think maybe smaller than Sarja.
Well, let's also talk about the other team in blue that Delhi will be facing in their first match. Five-time champions. No need to talk about them more highly than we already do. Mumbai Indians, of course, have gone through a bit of a change, as all the other teams have in this mega auction. If you could just bring that graphic up from their auction picks, we'll have a more clear picture. But quite a few changes that we thought, okay, and Abhishek, I think it was you who said after that auction, they might as well be prepping up a team for a season later.
Yes.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's
So
the team.
even then, if you look at Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Surya, and say Tim David, and who was there?
Will they
Fabian Allen.
play Team David? Will they play Team David?
They should. Fabian Allen and Pollard. Yep, David should play. So essentially, see if they can have a top three of Rohit, Ishan, and Surya. That gives them ample chance to play overseas batters and bowlers. So if Pollard occupies one of the spots, I think Mills may make it,
Okay.
given his current form. So
Yeah,
who
Yeah.
are going to
yeah.
be the other two overseas players? There is high probability of David playing.
Yeah.
Because Mills can do what probably Trent Bolt used to do for them.
At some point, Brevis will be playing, and I would I'm really
Yeah.
waiting to watch him in India.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it seems like a fitting picture, a fitting sort of bond between the
I just
franchisee and the player,
just want to
given
come in
Mumbai
here.
Indians' reputation of developing the players and helping them progress in terms of their career. That's been a proven track record. We've seen that in the last two auction cycles, haven't we?
Rahul, it was a very long question. I lost track of it.
No, but the Baby AB and MI partnership seems quite good, both for the franchisee and the player.
Yeah, so essentially, what is likely to happen? I mean, they will try to replace that Pandya Pollard middle order with another group of three all rounders. They already have
Yeah,
Pollard. They will look for two
yeah,
more.
Yeah.
So that one of that may be someone like Allen, maybe one. They may try to fit in David. They may try to fit in Brevis. But
yeah.
let us see who actually make that, because that was
Yeah,
one of Mumbai's strengths.
we can categorize Bravis as one of the all-rounders. I mean, he's a very handy leg spinner.
Mhm.
But I'm sure he will not bowl at CCI.
Honestly, we should.
Who'd want to? Who'd want to? I mean, except for a few. Not many
But
Yeah,
would
so
want to bowl on
but
Thursday.
when can we
it is
expect to
one thing.
see
It is
Bumrah
one
and
thing to go
Archer bowling together?
next year. I
Yeah.
guess next year.
Yeah.
So
They
it is
perhaps
one
knew it.
thing. It is one thing to bowl at South Africans in domestic cricket, leg spin to South
Yeah.
Africans in domestic cricket.
Yeah.
It is one thing to bowl at under 19 batters, and it will be completely another thing to bowl at Andre Russell in an IPL in a small ground. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yep.
No, absolutely.
Well, it will be exciting, and it's a good start for both the teams. The Delhi kind of seems to have the upper end finally over a Mumbai Indians squad going into a match on paper at least.
So, but
But
then, Delhi, I believe, had a much better option than Mumbai.
yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah.
Rahul,
But we'll have to
I
wait and
believe,
watch.
yeah, what I believe, all these teams in the first week or so, first few games, they need to find out their ideal combination. So that is the time when the teams which are already settled. For example, I can see a few teams like Delhi. I think they know what their best combination is. So teams like them, all those teams will be, much less vulnerable compared to the new teams or the teams which have like completely transformed themselves and still will be looking for their best combination.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, there'll be
So
another
Delhi,
game on
Mumbai,
Sunday.
these teams, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, these teams, they know their core and they will have other players to support that core group. But some of the other teams might not have that privilege.
True, true, true. Well, let's talk about the other game that'll happen on Sunday and the two teams that'll play that. We will have Punjab play RCB.
The best bowling
Always
attack
the
in the
teams,
tournament.
at least so
RCB, they
far.
have the best
At
bowling
least so
attack
far.
in the tournament by far.
And Punjab have the worst. Honestly,
There you go. We have the RCB squad.
we'll just see Punjab's attack in a bit. Let's
Yeah.
focus on Bangalore.
Let's talk about RCB first. Their fans always too vocal, whatever the stage of the tournament is, but especially before a tournament begins. And of course, they'll have their fingers crossed. A new captain. They have a new captain in Faf du Plessis going into this season. But yes, that's the team. Gentlemen, which are the players you sort of look at and straight away can make into that 11 spot?
I think the bowlers, as he mentioned, Hazelwood,
Yep.
Hasaranga, Harsha, and Siraj.
True.
So
And
this
look
is
what-
going to be a fabulous attack.
And they have
Good
Fawaz
luck.
Ahmed, who is a very, very decent all-rounder, bowl left arm
Yeah.
spin. They have David Willey as backup. They have Siddharth Kaul as backup. Until unless I think Glenn Maxwell will be missing a few games. So they have Rutherford. I think Berendorf is also there. So yeah, I mean, look at their Karan Sharma.
Yes,
How can we forget Karan Sharma? Karan Sharma is there. So yeah, it's a wonderful team. The only question for me is their batting lineup, where they are looking a bit, with AB de Villiers no longer there to steer them home in those middle overs. I think they need someone like Dinesh Karthik or Max. They will be dependent on them. Whether Kohli if Kohli open the innings, the team will be top heavy. So I think Anuj Rawat should open with Faf du Plessis. Kohli should bat at number 3. But here
there is one
Yeah.
gamble they can take instead of. If they play Hazelwood, Hasaranga, and Faf and Maxwell, I don't think they can accommodate Finn Allen. But at some point, they'll have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Finn Allen.
But Maxwell will not be there in the first few games. So that is the ideal opportunity.
So I think Finn Allen should get a few games first up.
Yeah.
Oh, there is also Mahipal Lomra.
One of the most destructive batters in the format in the world. He will be used at some point.
Yeah. I think he will start with Maxwell not there. He will start.
And on this small, I mean, I know New Zealand grounds are small, where he plays most of his T20, but these grounds are also small.
But I think RCB playing at DY Patil, which is a much bigger ground. I
Yeah,
think,
it may be the biggest of the four grounds.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
Pune is also quite big. I mean the
yeah.
dimensions.
But DY Patil is probably bigger. I'm
But
not
is
sure.
Pune big on in all directions or just one side of the boundary?
No, Pune is like big on all directions.
Well, even leaving that aside, I guess RCB. It's funny that we started talking with RCB's bowling when it has been one of the thinking issues for the fans and the
I mean,
franchisees.
gone are
They
those
have
days
changed it.
when
Yeah,
RCB
yeah.
used to be a batting heavy and team,
Yeah,
and bowlers were like used to do a supplementary job. Now it is their bowling which is their biggest strength, and now batters need to support their bowlers. So basically,
sure.
if
Also,
Kohli has around 600, 650, 700 runs in the season, RCB will make it to the playoffs. Until unless I cannot see RCB making it to the playoffs because they have a little bit of issue with their batting. Their bowling is exceptional, the best in the tournament by far. But again,
I'll
how
tell you.
will
I'll tell you one fact about RCB. Many teams do very well in home grounds.
Yeah,
RCB do not. RCB do not do
yeah,
anything special on home grounds. The best seasons for RCB have been 2009, some of their best seasons, and 2020 onwards, when matches were
yeah.
stuck. The seasons where matches were played on neutral grounds.
neutral grounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So because RCB does not have a home advantage and other sides do, other sides lose that advantage when all matches are played on neutral ground. This may be a coincidence, but it has worked for RCB.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I completely agree.
so because
And RCB will
uh,
enjoy playing at these Mumbai pitches,
yes,
especially Mumbai, Wankhede at CCI. The ball there will be bounce on the surface, and they have wicket-taking bowlers with the new ball. I think it will be a RCB bowling attack will be a thing to watch out for in this
hmm,
IPL.
yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Quite a few rich choices for them. But then again, let's talk about the rich choices that the two new teams in the competitions have, who will face off each other in their respective first appearances in IPL. Gujarat Titans will be facing Lucknow Super Giants. Now, a lot has been said about these franchisees' pre-hands and the players that they have, but just looking forward at their squads, what do you think is the bit of powerhouse talking points in terms of the players that they have?
Which team are we discussing first?
I guess we missed Punjab, didn't we?
Yeah, so
Yes, we
yeah,
have
we did
missed.
Punjab.
Yep. So प्रोड्यूसर साहब पंजाब का भी स्क्वाड हमें दिखाया जाए पंजाब की भी बात करें ऑफ कोर्स दैट वाज बैड
You'll just agree with me that they have the worst bowling attack.
but let's look at the positive side first. Let's look at the positives.
Yeah. The positive side is last year they had an excellent side. You couldn't find any weaknesses, and yet they did poorly. So this time maybe you'll find weaknesses and they'll perform. I don't. You never
Perhaps
know.
you can keep, if you can keep low expectations from the teams,
Yeah.
maybe you won't be disappointed.
I mean,
But
in the
yeah,
bowling,
my
who is in their bowling, who is their premier wicket taker? I cannot see one. I mean, apart from
Ah,
Rabada, of course.
apart from Rabada, and if you think hard, focus hard, you may land on Arshdeep. Arshdeep is here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah,
they retained
he
him.
was
They
retained.
retained
Yeah.
him.
So find other bowlers, form their bowling attack from the other bowlers,
Maybe
and
maybe
tell
Rahul
and
Chahar
tell
is
maybe
there.
Cheher.
and
Yeah, maybe Cheher. Just
will
maybe.
this? We just discussed the Delhi batting lineup. Do you think this bowling attack will survive the Delhi batting line?
Hmm.
Fine, name your five bowlers and then you tell me.
Rishi Dhawan.
Yeah.
Let
I
me put it
mean,
this way. Let me put it this way
Harpreet,
in a
Ishan
much more
Podel, Sandeep
optimistic way.
Sharma.
If Kagiso Rabada has a good day
Yes.
and
Yes.
he is supported very well by
But
Arshdeep
who
Singh
will
and
support?
Harpreet
Who
Brar,
will support
We are
Kagiso
looking at
Ravada?
we are not looking at 4 overs of support for 16 overs of good bowling. We are looking at 12 overs of support for 8 overs of good bowling. That never works.
on a few occasions it will, but not on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a
that's what we're
very
talking
weak
about here.
bowling attack. Very weak bowling
Yeah.
attack.
I hope that they will use Raj Angad Baba properly.
Raj Bawa, yes. I'm
I
excited to
hope
see him.
that.
I also hope
Yeah.
hope to see Raj Bawa.
Of course, one of the big names from the recently concluded under 19 World Cup that India won. But in terms of batting, are they going to be the team that's going to score big and then is going to allow the opposition to come close to chase that? Are they going to be that sort of team? We've seen that sort of Punjab team before, haven't we?
The batting can be destructive, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dhawan and Bairstow and Livingstone and Shah Rukh Khan is can be scary.
Yeah.
Dhawan, Mayank,
True.
yeah. It's a good batting. It's a very good batting lineup. But again, and they have quite a few all rounders as well down the order.
Yes,
But again, the problem is lies in their bowling.
the bowling is too
Liam
weak.
Livingston. Liam Livingston, by the way, can give you good 4 overs on some days.
But
Yeah,
Just
but
bringing
but
in that
I
fact.
I
On some days.
I don't think he will be much successful at Wankhede and CCI. I'm keep mentioning these two grounds because I mean spinners.
so
I can feel for them, especially at CCI.
they could have gone. There's not one top quality spinner in the side, and you're playing in India.
Ritik
Yeah.
Chatterjee is a good spinner
Rahul
at
Chair is
domestic
there.
level.
Rahul Chair is there, but
Rahul Chahar is there.
not the absolute top bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is going to hurt them. That is going to hurt.
When you look at a team like RCB and when you look at this
Yeah,
bowling attack, of course, there's a clear
Of course,
distinguishing.
of course. Ishan Podel has been doing well at the domestic level in red ball cricket, but again, the IPL is probably much tougher than international level.
Here, let me bring this in because I really want to talk about this. One of the prime reasons, one of the prime talking points for Punjab before was the captain's strike rate. Right, the captain has changed. New captain is coming. What sort of a Mayank Agarwal, the opener, would you want to see going forward? Because he's going to open with Shikhar Dhawan. We've got to keep that in mind. Dhawan also likes to take a bit of time, and that strike rate isn't going to cross what 150 mark, 140 mark.
I'm
Last
trying
season,
to.
it
I'll try to look at it the other way
yeah
around. With that bowling attack, you need to score 200 almost every time.
yeah
And if you want to score 200, your power play needs to be productive. And
true.
if you want your power play to be productive, both openers need to attack from the start.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, they
Yeah.
should not even think about playing, conservatively, batting conservatively with
And
this bowling
honestly,
attack.
if you're playing Bairstow, why will you not open with him? Not Why will you not make him bat in the power play?
Where do you see Mayank going then? Because Shikhar is, of course, going to open.
Mayank at 3, Shikhar at 3, it won't matter. Bairstow has to get all of the power play. See,
Livingston at 4, Shah Rukh at 5.
we have seen Mayank in full form. We have seen Dhawan in full form. We have
Yeah.
seen Bairstow in full form. There's no doubt that Bairstow is the most dangerous of the three.
I mean, with Anil Kumble there in charge, I don't know why he picked up this bowling attack. I mean, their batting is and they have quite a few players and who will be probably not utilized properly. On the other hand, their bowling looks very, very weak.
Maybe they will be able to contain Gujarat's strange batting lineup, but we'll come to that.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the instruction has come from the up above. We need to pivot to the next two teams. Finally, the two new teams coming to IPL. Gujarat, of course, will be led by Hardik Pandya. Rashid Khan, Shubman Gill were the other two players that they got before the auction. But then there was some serious bidding, and they got a good lineup. I mean, they just need to find the perfect 11, and that's going to take some time. But who do you see jumping into that
Okay,
11 straight away from the beginning?
Jason Roy is not here anymore.
Yeah.
So, so Roy has been replaced by Rahmanullah Gurbaz. So now,
Yep.
if you open with,
Exciting opener.
yes, no doubt, but can you fit him in the 11? Will he be one of the
No.
four overseas cricketers?
Mm.
Rashid Khan will be playing.
Yep.
Ferguson will be playing. Almost certainly, we can see Matthew Wade will be playing. So, would you
They have
want?
David Miller also.
Yes. So I think this batting lineup has a very strange look to it. You play Shubman Gill. His opening partner, my favorite, my personal choice would be Ridhiman Saha, who, hear me out, of all Indian batters with 750 runs in IPL history, Ridhiman Saha has the third best strike rate in power play specifically. So he's
Yeah.
after only, I think, Sehwag and Shaw.
Yeah.
So that is
Oh, they
not
have Noor
something they would
Ahmed.
want to face. Yes, but can they fit him?
Absolutely, they have to. I mean, he's the left-handed Rashid Khan.
Yes,
Noor
I
Ahmed and
know.
Rashid Khan, yeah, Rashid Khan bowling in tandem. I think in place of David Miller, they have enough batting. So in place of David Miller, they can
Do
play.
they have enough batting?
I think they have.
If you play, say, Gill and Saha,
Hmm.
then you have uh, Vijay Shankar, Abhinav Manohar, and say Hardik and Matthew Wade. Is that enough? Is this batting lineup enough?
They need Matthew?
If you drop Matthew Wade, then your number three is probably Vijay Shankar. Your number four is probably Abhinav Manohar. Your number five or six is Hardik Pandya. Is this good enough? If your openers are Gill and Saha.
Wouldn't you promote Hardik at four? Maybe.
Okay, fine. You promote
Yeah.
Hardik at four. But is
Yeah.
this batting lineup enough? There are batters, but you can't bring them in. You can't bring Gurbaz. You can't bring Wade because you have to back Rashid and Ferguson.
They'll have to go with at least three overseas
Yes.
batting options,
Yes. Yes.
including Ferguson. Yeah.
Uh, if you pick both
So
Rashid and Ferguson, you have to. I mean, Roy was a big miss.
yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
I
Uh,
mean, it will be very pity if they don't play Noor Ahmed.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
There is also Alzari Joseph, but I do not see him play because with Shami and their bowling is sorted. I mean, it's fine. It's not. Varun Aaron is there.
Abhishek will certainly say that. They've got a Jayant Yadav there. They've got a
Yeah, yeah.
Rahul Tewatia there. Abhishek will be happy
Tewatia
with
will
that,
play. Yeah,
won't
yeah.
he?
Tewatia will play. Tewatia will add some balance to the side. Jayant
Yeah.
Yadav, I'm not very sure whether he'll be a regular, but Tewatia is going to be. Tewatia is going to be. I mean, even if you don't pick Miller, this batting lineup looks
Yeah.
very strange. By the as I said,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't pick Miller, then you have to pick bowlers who can bat, and I guess that is where Tewatia and others will come.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, if you drop Wade, then your best middle order,
I think
and you have
one
to.
of Wade or because since Saha is also there, so
Hmm.
one of Wade and Miller should play, and they should play Noor Ahmed.
Even if basically even if you play one of Miller and Wade,
Wade.
and there is Hardik, these are the only two major batters apart from Gill, who has a very ordinary strike rate and who thinks strike rate doesn't matter in T20 for some reason. So, and this batting lineup, I can't see them. I mean, especially they'll struggle in the middle overs.
Yeah.
When that happens, when you have a batting lineup which is vulnerable, how much of a pressure does that put on the openers? Because we're talking about strike rate here. The openers always have this in the back of their minds, don't they? That the middle order is not performing, especially midway through the tournament, and they want to
Yes.
take their time to establish an innings.
The
Will
crack
that
will
be
be
the
to use
case? Do you
Saha at the
think?
top.
Yeah.
The crack will be to use Saha at the top. That will help change some balance. Otherwise, you'll have to put Gill and another aggressive batter at the top. If you put Wade at the top, that's one of your overseas players gone.
Hmm.
Saha has to bat at the top.
Yeah. Saha needs to open because well, either of Wade and Miller is they are more suited in the middle order,
Yeah.
and which also they are left-handers. So left-handers in the middle order are always crucial. And I think, but good to see that they have a lot of all-rounders who can,
Yep.
Yeah.
they have a lot of all-rounders.
True.
But
True.
I would be more itching to play both Noor Ahmed and Rashid Khan.
Sandipan Banerjee always putting forward his point in the most clear way possible. But yeah, let's move on to the other franchisee as well, who have good ensemble. I'd say had a decent auction. We're talking about, of course, Lucknow Super Giants, who had already gotten KL Rahul, Marcus Stoinis, and Ravi Bishnoi on board before they went into the auction, and then they got some nice picks to follow. Who the four overseas player you see here starting in the 11 from that first match?
Wood is a big miss. Wood will be missed definitely. I mean, of course, QDK will be there. He's one of the first choice overseas players. Who
Yeah.
else? Jason Holder, of course, is there.
Stoinis and Holder
Yeah.
and Myers will be flying out. So yeah, and Chamira, of course.
But who is replacing Wood? I think
Ty.
Blessing.
No, Ty.
No, Andrew Ty. Yeah, Andrew Ty.
The other
Yeah,
big
so
option
these
is
are the four overseas players. QDK.
I think the Lucknow team is probably better than we think. They are actually a more balanced team than many.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
So essentially, if you look at this Avesh Khan, and then you get if once Holder is available, he's still playing a test match. So Avesh Khan and Holder, and essentially you get 4 overs out of Krunal Pandya, 4 overs maybe out of Gotham, and then there is Stoinis,
Yeah.
and then there is of course Bishnoi. So
Couple
this
of
is
overs from Deepak Huda as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not a great bowling attack, but this is a decent
Yeah.
bowling attack. And
Yep.
then you have a sort of explosive batting lineup. Not so. I mean, not so much if you look at not so much if you look at individual level. Rahul and Deacock are dangerous batters, but if you look at the depth, if you see, say, Stoinis could be there, and Pandey, and Huda, and Pandya, and then Holder, then Gotham, it is a very long lineup.
Yeah.
So they can, while they are, and then you can play even Lewis at any point. So if they are probably not, they do not have many great hitters, but collectively they have a side that can take risks early. They go for that final onslaught before the other side. The depth in the
Yeah.
batting will
Yeah,
allow them
true.
that.
Yeah.
True.
Even gives the opportunity to those who are starting the innings to go all out and cash most
Yes.
of that
So
power play.
essentially,
Yeah.
when other sides start hitting in the 15th over, they may start in the 14th, and 1 over can
Yeah.
make a difference in this format.
Definitely. We've seen that. We've seen that on quite a few occasions.
Yes. Yes.
And it'll be
So
exciting. It'll be exciting to see these two face off each other in their first matches. But yeah, Sandipada, to add
no, I'm just
to what.
saying to wrap up things. Let's not discuss who will be the other team apart from Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai to make up the playoffs because these three teams will definitely they are sorted.
We have two more teams to
I'm
talk
not very
about right
sure
now.
about,
We have two more teams to talk about right now. And Abhishek Mukherjee.
and one of them
How
is a
can
very
we?
good team, and that is not Rajasthan Royals.
Yes.
That is not
Oh my
Rajasthan Royals.
God.
I am considering Sunrisers Hyderabad as one of the playoff teams.
Is this out of the notebook of the good school student, which is not such a good school friend, who says that, they're not so good. I'm not so good with the studies. But yeah,
No,
at the end of it, you always see their name in the toppers list.
Rajasthan will be trying to, will probably struggle to get their combination right, a combination wrong. I'll come to that. I have looked at the Rajasthan squad. But
Sure.
are we doing Rajasthan first or Sunrisers?
Yep. Here we go. Producer Utkarsh is at work already. We have the Rajasthan squad right here, and we have the star-studded lineup. So yes, Mr. Abhishek
Yeah,
Mukherjee.
I like this team more than Rajasthan had a problem that was first of all their bowling attack generally consisted of left arm seamers and wrist spinners.
Yep.
There was very little
Hmm.
variety. This time they have addressed that. They still have left arm seamers, they still have wrist spinners, but they have now
Yeah.
one of the best off spinners. Ashwin and Chahal together is going to be a treat to watch.
Yep.
Uh, but then there is the pace attack. So you have Bolt,
Yeah.
and then you have Saini, and who is the other one I spotted?
Kultanail is there.
Coulter is there. So
Ultimate. You've got me.
and that you may get Nisham. So these people will
Yep.
unite from Mumbai Indians under Malinga. So on
Yeah.
paper, this looks very good, right? But
Yeah.
then again, you have Samson, you have Butler, and you have Jaiswal, and
Yeah.
this also the top also looks good. But there is the problem is
Padikkal.
that,
They also have Padikkal.
but where do you bat Padikkal?
But particular. If you're playing with
Padikkal
Yashasvi
will
Jaiswal and
open.
Joss Butler, you
Padikkal will open.
If Padikkal opens, you're missing out on the Jaiswal, Butler, Samson top three. They are far
yeah.
more aggressive. They are the attacking batters. Padikkal,
But I
uh,
think they will play Padikkal. Padikkal will
yes,
be their
and
first choice opener.
see, then you're pushing down. You're pushing down probably if you open with Padikkal and Jaiswal, you're pushing Butler to 3, Samson to 4,
That's
Hitmire to
fine.
5.
Butler is yeah.
Hitmire to
No,
Butler
5.
Butler will.
Butler can play in the middle over. Butler
Butler
can
has
do
to
the role of
open. Butler
Butler
has
no
has
to
to
open.
Butler.
open. Butler has to open. Butler opens.
No,
This is T20 cricket.
Butler
I
has to
mean,
destroy right from the very beginning.
but
That's what we've been talking about
but
of this format.
Rajasthan in the past they have struggled to find a finisher, and
uh,
probably that is the
this
reason why
time,
they have picked up Padikkal, so
Admire.
that they have Indian options at the top, and then
so
they like yeah. Tell me.
so essentially, Padikkal has a strike rate of in the 120s, in the mid 120s,
Yeah, yeah.
and that is going to be an issue in the power play overs. That is probably not they want. Padikkal, I mean, Jaiswal is more destructive, and Butler we know.
Jaiswal had a good second leg in the IPL last time
Yes,
around,
So so
batting with
so
David
and
Jash
Lewis. Yeah.
and
so
if your number
Jaiswal
3 is
can
Samson
do
and your number 4 is Hetmeyer,
Jaiswal can do what Butler used to do in the past.
yeah, but why not both of them?
Yep. Well,
So the
we've kind of
problem is
lost.
the problem is 4 of Rajasthan's 5 bowlers, Bolt, Chahal, probably Saini, and in T20 cricket, Ashwin, they are not what whom you want to see in the death overs with the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so if
It'll be
that is the
tricky.
case, then they'll probably have to leave out Coulter for Nisham. That solves a
So,
couple of problems. That
yeah.
then also helps. And the problem is Padikkal, Jaiswal, Butler, Samson, Hetmeyer, this entire group, they do not bowl. So Rajasthan's batters rarely bowl,
Yeah.
which is why you have to play someone like Riyan Parag, who will give you 2-3 overs in an emergency. You can't have 5 players, 6 players who cannot bowl. That will be very risky. And to do that, you have to go back to Parag. That will be your original. Basically, Rajasthan's last year team was founded around a group of batters and half batters, half bowlers. I mean, Parag and Dubey and Tewatia, they were built around this group. They have abandoned that
Yeah.
idea now. So, but
Okay.
now what they have done is you have to pick Parag. Otherwise, if you're 6 batters, none of them can't bowl. You're in a soup. And
Okay.
of your bowlers, only Coulter can bat. Ashwin can bat, but not a great batter in this format. So there is a problem with balance. It's a very good squad, but there's a problem with balance. They
Yeah. They'll
have
have to
to
choose
figure
their
out
four
who can.
overseas players
Yes,
very carefully. Very good.
yes. So
Yeah.
they have to play Nisham.
True.
Unless and the
Yeah, I
moment you
mean,
play Nisham, the moment you play Nisham, you lose that very strong bowling attack.
Yeah.
that very strong bowling attack just becomes a strong bowling attack.
Will they need so many batters in Mumbai?
So essentially, if you pick 5 specialist bowlers, and I would love to see them take that risk, but will they do it? I don't know. I would love to do that. So Nisham and 5 bowlers.
Yeah. Especially against a team like Delhi, I think a team would want to make sure that they have all those lineups filled in terms of the batting and bowling.
Yes.
You want to go neck to neck against them. But yeah, Rajasthan will be facing Sunrisers Hyderabad in their first game. Let's talk about Hyderabad now, the final team that we need to talk about going into this IPL. Kane Williamson, Umran Malik, and Abdul Samad were the players that they retained. And then they got this list, this ensemble to go with in this season. Abhishek, how different or how many boxes have they ticked basically, which they needed to? All.
They are the dark horses. I won't be surprised if they top the table. I don't know what about knockout
That's
matches,
a big prediction.
I won't be surprised if they top the points table. Okay,
that's
starting, right?
That's the headline. Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving you my team. Markram to open, both bat and ball.
Okay.
He has opened bowling. Remember, he opens.
Yep,
he had a terrific 2021 with bat, and he has opened bowling. Sometimes bowled 4 overs.
Wow.
Yep.
That is one player giving you 2 solid slots. They have Williamson. They have Puran.
Yeah.
Puran has found form. And then you have...
They have Rahul Tripathi, who will open. They have Rahul Tripathi.
Yes. Yeah. So Markram and Tripathi, if they open, and if Markram and Tripathi open, they have Williamson and Puran. That is Markram's 4 overs you have already got. And now you have got your wicketkeeper as well in Puran.
Yeah. Yep.
So your first 4 is a solid core who also gives you 4 overs and the wicketkeeper. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you get Abdul Samad and Abhishek Sharma.
Yes.
If not 8 overs, then 4 overs?
True.
Between them? Okay. Now you get Sundar.
Yeah.
Your bowling is almost done and you have reached only number 7. And Sundar can bat.
Oh, yeah.
They have Priyam Garg.
Yes.
They
haven't even touched her.
Yes, and now they even have the ability to play another all-rounder, which is where they get in Romario Shepherd.
Yeah.
You still have 3 bowlers. If you don't play Shepherd, you play Jansen.
Yep. Which is, I believe, going to be the more likely option that they'll go for.
I can see this team. And apart from Williamson, there is not a big name there.
There's not a big name, but they have found out the ways to give not only 20 but 30 overs of bowling in them every time. And their number 9 is likely to be Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. This is a deep batting lineup. There's not a big name, but they have done this very well. I think they were one of the... Remember, they started off the auctions very late. That is because they didn't go after the big names.
There was that joke going that they might start bidding from day 2. Yeah.
They realized that they figured out who will give them more overs, more dot balls, and more sixes. Yeah. And I think they played it very well. The more I think, and remember, I have still mentioned only up to number 9. And then you have Umran Malik. You have Natarajan.
Who was just going berserk in the net sessions. We have to talk, gentlemen. We have to talk about the 2 deliveries that we saw from Umran Malik to Nicholas Puran. Those were very quick. And I'm really excited about this because this is, of course, going to be his season. Coming in.
Look at that bowling attack. Look at their bowling attack.
Stage matches.
Bhuvaneshwar, Umran Malik, Natarajan with Tyagi in backup.
Kartik Tyagi.
That is the bowling attack.
But Kartik Tyagi, I cannot see Kartik Tyagi making it to the 11.
You need a backup spinner. You have Shreyash Gopal, who can also bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suchit is there. Suchit is there.
I think this is one of the more brilliantly thought out squads, and this is
And
one squad
yet,
that
and
needs to be
yet,
talked
one of the
about.
most
Yeah.
undertalked
Yes,
squad.
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Not many people are talking about this squad, and I was
I
looking at the
think
squad, and I did not find it. Apart from Williamson, there is not a very familiar. I mean, superstar. But
yeah.
again, in
Remember,
T20
as I
cricket,
said, they started the auction very late.
yeah.
yeah,
It's also not necessarily about bringing star names. They've stitched together a team where everyone has a specific role,
yeah,
as far as the
yeah.
narration that we just got from Abhishek Mukherjee, and it looks really good. It looks really good and really exciting. But yeah, that's
There
something to
no
look
not
out
many
for.
stars, but it is a very good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially
And
what you need to win a
and
tournament.
under a very good captain.
Yes.
But I cannot say the same thing about their management. But at least they have a good captain.
Let us see. The management
I
did
mean,
work well with
yeah,
Kohli.
the management should just watch cricket this time
Let's
around,
see.
not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
talk too much. Yeah,
They
but
said
yeah,
let
good
them
vibes.
play.
Yeah,
Delhi
good
versus
vibes around this
Hyderabad is going
Hyderabad
to be
team. Yeah.
solid.
Oh, too many trailers in this preview already, and we're excited. But yeah, just before we round it up, it's been close to 1 hour 10 minutes.
That's
Just
fine.
before we
That's
round it
fine. We
up,
have 10 teams.
it's time for the favorites prediction from our ends and the best batter that you believe, or someone, not necessarily someone who's going to win the orange cap, but someone who will be crucial for their team, and the best bowler. I would want you to make these three predictions. Let's start with you, Abhishek Da. The
I'll
team, the
go
team
with
for
the.
you.
Let's do the easy choice. Rashid Khan.
Okay.
It's a very safe choice. You have to agree.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
What are we discussing? Most runs or
The best batter, not most runs, can have a good strike rate, might as well only score 250 runs, but will be very crucial for their team as far as strike rate bracket is concerned.
shall I take a gamble?
Please do.
Let's gamble. So many names. It's very difficult to. Okay, Surya Kumar Yadav.
It'll be good to see him have a good IPL season. Yeah,
He has got international experience now. He has been.
yeah,
He'll be playing on home grounds, on familiar grounds. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Sandipanda, I believe there is some internet issue again at
Yeah.
his end.
You can give us
Uh,
your predictions.
oh, my predictions. Well, the team I would like to see, I'll start with an easy one from this end. Delhi. I'd like to see Delhi do good, finally. Go all the way. Go all the way this time around. That's a safe choice, right? That is a
Yeah.
safe
So
choice.
my also let's predict the top four.
Yeah, definitely. Please do.
Delhi, not in no specific order. I think Hyderabad will
Nope.
top the group. Hyderabad,
Okay.
Delhi, Lucknow, and okay, Rajasthan.
I thought you
Maybe
were going to
no,
say
no. Okay, okay. I'll
CSK.
leave out. I'll leave out Rajasthan. I'll say Chennai. I'll
Yeah.
say Chennai.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
one of
Thank,
Bangalore and
thanks.
Chennai. Rajasthan will probably not make it. But yes,
But
Hyderabad will top. This is going. Rahul, if this really happens, please record this clip.
it's already there on the record. We have this with
Hyderabad,
us. We'll just go ahead with this. But
Hyderabad.
but I don't know how to react to you adding Chennai by removing Rajasthan there, because you have an excellent jinx record of late.
No, the thing is, Chennai may not start off well because they are missing Chahar, missing
Yeah.
Moin for one match. And they may take a
Mm.
couple of matches, but they'll pick up. Rajasthan also will
Yeah.
take time to
Yeah.
finally find that five batters or five bowlers combination going. Who
Yeah.
their number 5, 6, 7 will be. That is the only problem I can see in the
Mm.
Rajasthan side. Both are very good
L- l-
sides.
Yeah,
Let us see.
let's take it this way. Most of the teams,
Hmm.
or perhaps every team will take their time to have that 11 sorted, and
Yeah.
the teams that will get the most wins during that time period will get benefited at the end of the league stage. But yes, Sandipanda.
Lucknow is another team that are probably better than, at least they are a better team than their jersey, logo, and theme song. That is for sure.
Well, we have we have a nice 30-second clip there, uh, but yeah, Sandipanda, your top four, your team, the team for the season, and the batter and the bowler that you're looking to watch out this season.
Batter, obviously Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer will outscore everyone this season. I mean, maybe Rahul can score more runs than Shreyas Iyer, but Shreyas Iyer will be more impactful.
I also thought Iyer, then I changed my suggestion to.
What else? Batter, bowler.
Yeah,
To Surya.
bowler, yeah, yeah.
Mm, who else? Bowler. It's very hard to pick with too many bowlers.
Rashid Khan bol
Uh,
de. Even if he is not the best, he'll be in the top three.
but
That we know.
yeah. Rashid, yeah. Okay, I'll go with Rashid
That's
Khan.
that's
Is
the
safe,
that right there
safe
is the
choice.
safest fantasy
I was
pick ever.
thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
some
yeah.
pacer. Now, considering the wickets over here, I was thinking about some pace bowler. But yeah,
Yes,
Rashid Khan.
and which
Yeah,
also
Rashid
makes
Khan.
sense because pace bowlers were the best, biggest investments in the auctions.
Yep,
Yeah.
true.
So will this be Lord's IPL?
Every IPL is Lord's IPL and until he doesn't want it to be his IPL. What sort of a question is that, Abhishek? But yes,
Okay, let us have it.
Sandipanda,
Who is backing Jadeja for MVP?
I have to. So yeah,
We have to, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Sandipanda, please do tell us
Jadeja,
your team.
Jadeja. I think Jadeja in CSK, Jadeja's batting was not properly utilized. Even his bowling was not properly utilized. I don't think he used to bowl 4 overs for CSK in the recent years.
He used
I
to
think
bowl
Rahul
four
can
overs
agree, but I hope as
only
a
on
No, no,
captain,
turning
will
no.
pitches.
Jadeja
Yeah,
utilize him more?
yeah, he'll do everything. But that's what we
Only
were
on
talking about
turning
yesterday.
pitches would Jadeja bowl 4 overs. Otherwise,
Yeah.
until last year,
No.
because Chennai was a team with a lot of bowling options.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah.
You
So
had Chahar, you had Bravo who would not bat and sometimes bowl 1 over. Things like that happened with Chennai.
Yeah, yeah. Sandipanda, yes, please go ahead. If you are
yeah.
able to, I
So
think.
batter is
Yep, yep.
Shreyas Iyer, bowler is Rashid Khan. Yeah, batter is Shreyas Iyer, bowler is Rashid Khan. And what do we have
Yeah,
to pick?
the best team for, I mean, the winners that you are predicting right now and the top four. Oh, we just lost Sandipanda yet again. I'll just put in this, because we were talking about, I said Delhi are my safe pick. But I'll say, as far as one bowler that I'm looking forward to watch out this season is concerned, I'll say Umran Malik. I mean, his first full season, would really want him to do good, would really
And
want him to
one of the
just,
matches, Bhuvi or Natarajan may sit out, and Umran Malik and Karthik Tyagi may bowl together.
oh wow, that will be something to watch in tandem, end to end. That'll be brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Rahul. Sorry, I was just having some issues with my
Yeah, we were
internet.
discussing. Suppose Bhuvi or Natarajan misses a match, and Umran Malik and Karthik Tyagi bowl together
At
Oof,
Wankhede.
at Wankhede.
neat. Neat. But yes, Sandipanda, do give us your final four and your winner predictions.
Okay, winner prediction.
Yeah, you have to do it right now
Oh no.
before the tournament even begins.
Okay. Final four, of course. Delhi. Delhi, obviously there. Mumbai.
Mhm.
So Delhi, Mumbai, CSK. Okay, I'll leave CSK out. I'll go with Hyderabad. Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad.
This is my influence.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Yes. Delhi,
Yeah,
Mumbai, Hyderabad, Lucknow.
Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Lucknow. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note,
Winner prediction is the
yeah, yeah.
Delhi Mumbai final, and
Delhi Mumbai final.
Delhi winning the tournament for the first time.
That'll be nice to see. But yeah, on that note, we can end this by safely saying three things that our producer has mentioned now, given our discussion. One of them is Lucknow's everything is good. We aren't that smart to understand. This, of course, coming from a
Maybe
Lucknow.
they'll have the last laugh. They have a good team, that's for sure.
But
They are being trolled for
No,
but
everything.
their
there's
captain, I am not sure about their captain.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
See, we cannot be sure about anything and everything, but this coming from a Lucknow individual, we can surely understand where our
no,
producers' allegiances are.
we'll definitely back, Whitaker's hometown to do well.
have you seen
It's a
Lucknow
good
actually?
team. It's a
The
good team.
Lucknow
Lucknow is a good
jersey,
team.
the Lucknow jersey has scales, and they have explained what the scales mean.
Yeah, yeah. It'll take us probably another episode to talk about that and the reason behind that. So let's not delve into it. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's
I
been a
think Lucknow's
fantastic.
jersey should have a separate Twitter account.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Who wants to take that up?
Ooh,
Please
I mean, the
do
social
pass on the
media
royalties to Abhishek Mukherjee. You can reach out
is
to
of
him with the
Lucknow can.
royalty stuff. Yep. Uh, Thank you, gentlemen. It's been fantastic as ever talking cricket with you, and I hope that we do it a lot more as the league progresses. We'll, of course, be there talking cricket every week, talking IPL every week. So do stay tuned to Cricket News for that and more of cricket. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been fun.